Hello and welcome to the latest Q&R session. Today we're going to pick up on a subject that's been discussed, it's been mentioned, it's been in the news, it's been everywhere. Energy costs, but particularly for industrial users. So today I am of course talking to Roland Renshaw, and we're looking at the subject of industrial energy usage and the costs involved. So Roland, figures for energy pricing, what are they for business?
Well, I think it's important to say that we're really here to discuss it and to say what can we do about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
From a publisher point of view, from a marketing company's point of view, the subject is so important that we really kind of think make a difference. And from our point of view, we've really experienced this ourselves. So we've got a 15,000 square foot building. We came out of our energy contract beginning of this year, just at the point where the prices were getting crazy. Now, you have to be in contract. So we had to sign a contract for 12 months that put us at 70, 80p a kilowatt hour. And there is nothing we could do about that. Now, we're a sort of SME business. If you imagine there's a manufacturing business that was in the same boat at the same time, and they're using multiple megawatt hours, then you know the cost from that point of view is going to be astronomical.
Yeah.
Because domestic supply is capped, we know that. The government has said that they're going to assist, but as far as I can tell, we're not actually receiving any support just yet.
So have we got any indication on the government assistance, how long it will last?
Well, from what I can glean, and this is from reading the government website, that there is a scheme in place, and the scheme gives you a saving, which is a percentage of the market rate, and you only qualify for it if your energy is costing you a lot of money. However, we phoned our energy supplier, a broker, and the actual energy provider, and they said, we don't understand it either.
That proves to be quite challenging, doesn't it? That proves to be something that's really very difficult to do. Now, obviously, with the rising cost, there's the inevitable that you cut back on your usage. So where do you start?
Well, from our point of view, we started with a bill. We have a bill. We're probably less sophisticated at this point than a manufacturing plant that has some kind of monitoring control in there. But we've got some big air handling units, we've got motors, we've got drives, we will have some more efficient drives, and we've got heaters and boilers and pumps. And from that point of view, our starting point is the bill even accurate?
Right.
So we had to start with a monitoring system. Number one, put a monitoring system in, get an actual understanding of how much energy we're really using. Now, the building itself has got about half an acre of solar panels on it. And a lot of the time, we believe that we are sufficient from an energy producing point of view, and we should be pushing money back into the grid. However, it doesn't look like it from our bill. So again, question everything, get your own stats. And if you put yourself in the situation of somebody who's got lots of big machine tools and things like that are using a lot of energy, it's going to be really important to find out exactly what's coming in, exactly what am I using. You've got somewhere, a benchmark to start from then.
Now, energy consumption has been a subject that has been discussed, certainly from the media side of things. Energy consumption has been an issue that's been around for decades. One thing that I would notice, or one thing that I would say, is that I notice that currently the emphasis has changed and it's put different inflection into the way that people are looking at this subject. How would you summarise the impact on business itself, though? The impact for you as a business?
Well, and this is talking from our point of view, fortunately, we can afford our energy bills. But they are now a big percentage of our spend.
Yeah.
Now, I've spoken to people who have bigger facilities, higher energy use, and they are genuinely talking about turning it off, mothballing the factory, closing, doing something else, but not spending this amount of money on energy. So I think we're at an absolutely critical point where it is going to make a profound difference on the country's ability to do business. If we're spending too much on energy, we're not spending money on other things.
Yes.
We become so much less competitive. And, you know, why is a chocolate bar over £1 now? Inflation. Why inflation? Because things cost more. Have your wages gone up massively? My wage has gone up massively? Not really.
No.
What has gone up massively? Electricity. It's a really big percentage part of our overheads now.
Yeah. So the whole emphasis, it really has changed. And obviously we're talking about the impact this has on manufacturing companies. Their consumption levels are huge. So the importance has really changed. Now, Roland, are there any innovative, sustainable things that you can do in this circumstance?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that, Andy, because we've been trialling, I've mentioned the solar power, we've been trialling some really innovative kind of food to waste solutions, taking waste food, so, cracked biscuits, things in the bottom of the barrel, and we're using a really sophisticated bioecological method of turning that food waste into energy. Taylor, can you get Robin to pedal faster, please? Oh, right, yeah.
Okay. That aside, we do have to look at how people can really find solutions to this. So, are we looking at a hardware solution? Are we looking at something that's software-based as a way of solving these problems?
Well, I think it's both. And I'm putting myself in the customer's position again here. We've mentioned that we've got a lot of hardware. We've got fans, pumps, heating, cooling, and that's HVAC for us. But from a factory point of view, there'll be manufacturing. Most rotating equipment, if it's got an electric motor on it, it uses energy. Now, we mentioned it before, and the big automation providers talk a lot about energy saving. There's lots of energy saving products out there. The products that can reduce energy. Put a variable speed drive in it, put a higher efficiency quality motor on it. But critically for us, and this has become really obvious because we're having to go through this process, you kind of need visibility. You need to stitch all these things together. Now for us, the air handling, the heating, the cooling, the video wall, the hot water systems, none of it really talks to each other. So there's no real coordination. So it's okay talking hardware, and hardware is vital. You need hardware. You need monitoring and you need efficient ways of driving things, but you've got to have a software solution. You've got to have a picture of it. So from the point of view of, say, SCADA, visualization, and actually control, building management control, whether that's a specific building management controller, whether it's a PLC or both, we need software to coordinate these things. We need everything to talk to itself from lots of disparate systems, and we need to get a screen that gives us a manageable, understandable picture of what's going on. So it's visualization, but then when you've got your visual, it's control.
Right.
Have to be able to control the building.
So we've had situations where automation companies have demonstrated an inverter drive having the ability to control an electric motor.
Sure.
So in principle, that's surely a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. And it works. However, from a user journey point of view, where do I start? Who do I call? Do I call a product manufacturer? Do I call a system installer? Do I get an automation integrator? Do I get a monitoring company? Do I get a consultant? Do I start with a site survey? My bills are coming in right now. There is a problem to solve right now. And I can't help thinking that it's about managing the customer journey. So I think there's an opportunity for companies to get together to produce a solution. And obviously lots of people talk about solutions, but look at it from a customer journey point of view.
Yeah.
I'm in an office, somebody else is in a factory, somebody else is in a warehouse, somebody else in a quarry, a mine, whatever those things are, then where's my starting point? Who do I talk to? I might have monitoring, it might not be together. I might have all the equipment in, but I might not be making the energy saving out of it. Who's going to help on this customer journey? Who's going to understand that and give us a place to start?
Right. So really then what you're pointing to is that there's a real call there for the automation companies to step forward. Do you see that as an important thing?
And I think this is the point of what we're saying, that our role within this is to say, we actually between us talk to, work for, represent lots of companies that have lots of solutions. Now, I think it's our responsibility to say, hey, let's communicate this better. Let's talk about all these solutions in the marketplace. Let's encourage and provide a platform for all of those key stakeholders to get together and produce something that works better for a customer journey point of view. And that's not just justifying our existence. However, that's what we're here to do. You own a marketplace. You have the readers. We have the means of production in terms of campaign material, getting things out the door, getting it written, get it organized, and using multimedia to get out to the audience.
Absolutely. So there's an issue here. There's an issue here that there is a certain amount of resistance on one side for people to call in an automation company. So there are issues that relate to that. And sometimes, I get feedback that they are called in late in the stage, and that provides its own set of complications. But equally as well, there's also a need for proactive activity to get that message across. So from my point of view as a publisher, like you say, there is the market I can talk to, but there's also just that need to take it beyond just an information gathering activity. So I think it is important, and I really do open the door for people to put that message out there, more than just a product, more than just something else. How can you as a marketing agency help, though? Where do you see your role?
Well, from our point of view, it's about managing that process, creating the material, making sure that that gets to yourself and other outlets. And it's making sure that from an audience point of view, what we produce is engaging.
Yeah.
Let's cut to the chase, get somebody's attention, put that message together, do what we can to get companies to talk to each other, provide solutions, and then let's take that to market. Let's talk about it. Let's create a scenario where we can talk about it, we can get different information in and present solutions to the marketplace. Now, really, it's about that key thing. It's signposting. It's saying, hey, we've got a solution. Here's where the customer journey starts. And I think you've got an editorial schedule. Is there an energy saving feature coming up?
November.
But also roundtables, case studies. Let's talk about people who've actually been on this journey, who are partway through this journey, who've solved this journey. If you're out there, you've cracked it, you're smug, let's tell your story, because as long as you don't mind everybody else knowing about your success, let's share that information. I think Great Britain UK PLC needs that focus.
I agree. I agree. And I think it's a change in approach that's needed at this time. It's something that we need to consider. And one of the things about the Q&R sessions is that we're dealing with subjects that we've come across from our experience in industry, both from a publishing point of view and an agency point of view. But really, this is a message where we feel this needs to go another gear up. So it's an opportunity. Automation companies, as a publisher, we want to hear from you. If you want help getting your message to market, why not talk to Roland? Why not talk to the team here? Because they can help you in achieving that. One thing's abundantly clear, though. There is a real need to address this, and to address this clearly and concisely. So we really hope that this will lead to more frenetic activity, and we really hope as well that it will provide the solutions that you could be looking for right now. So thanks for watching. Thank Roland as well for your input.
Thanks,
and look forward to seeing you on the next Q&R sessions.